So you want to make tent camping comfortable, but you're not really sure how to do that. So today we're going to talk about a budget, ultralight sleeping pad that may help you do that. Stick around. The sleeping pad we're going to talk about specifically is the Trekology UL80. The Trekology UL80 is a 40 denier nylon, and it has a waterproof coating or water resistant coating. It's about 4 inches thick, and it has a R value of about 1.5 to 2, it says on their website and on the Amazon listing. I purchased this sleeping pad because I wanted something that was a little bit thicker and kept me a little bit higher off the ground. It's not really all that great in cold weather based on the low R value, but it's affordable, it's quite packable, and being 4 inches thick alleviated some of the pain that I was having in my hips and in my knees from being a side sleeper. I'm going to put a link for the sleeping pad in the description as usual, but I wanted to show you the sleeping pad if you were looking for something to make your experience a little bit more enjoyable and a little bit more comfortable, but didn't want to spend a whole lot of money on something like a thermarest. Let's go ahead and get it set up and you can take a look at it. As I said before, I was searching for a pad that alleviated some aches and pains from being a side sleeper, and I've used this for a little over a year now on probably 6 or 7 outings, both backpacking and canoe camping, and I don't have any issues suggesting this as a pretty good budget option. As a matter of fact, I would say it's more comfortable than some of my more expensive sleeping pads, but the difference is the insulation value on this is a good bit lower. I would use this for summertime camping, springtime camping, and maybe early fall, depending on where you live. Definitely wouldn't use this in the winter time. With an R value of around 2, maybe a little bit lower, it's not going to be super warm. But we're not going to get into R values and insulation values of sleeping pads. This is really just to show you that you can find a sleeping pad that's comfortable and makes your experience a little bit better sleeping in a tent, even a tight tent like this, and not spend a whole lot of money. But let's get a closer look at it. Just about the only negative I can think of with this sleeping pad is the noise level. Most pads are like that though, I find. So a lot of people don't like noisy pads, and it's a thing. But this thing crinkles and makes a little bit of noise as you move around. If you're solo camping, that's not as much of a big problem. But if you are camping around others and others have noisy pads, then you really wish that they had one that was a little bit quieter. It is a pretty cushy and comfortable pad though, like I said, 4 inches, and you don't ever hit the ground. Laying on my side, perfectly comfortable and perfectly elevated. So that's it. I just wanted to do a quick down and dirty video suggesting an affordable option. I do enjoy doing that for folks. I get a lot of questions about things that I would recommend, and this is definitely one of them. It's around $40, as I said, and it's comfortable, it's packable, it's pretty lightweight. The downside is a little bit of noise and a pretty low R value, but again, I wouldn't suggest using it in the winter time or maybe even in the fall, depending on where you live. But outside of that, it's an excellent 3-season pad and doesn't cost a whole lot of money. It's also important to note the Flextail that I used to fill it is not part of the deal and does not come with it. I just didn't want to spend a whole lot of time blowing it up and having you watch me fight for my life. That being said, I will put the link for this in the description as well as the Flextail, but I'll probably do a separate video on the Flextail just so I can show you that in a little bit more detail. Without using the Flextail, you'll find yourself a little bit out of breath from blowing this thing up. Being a 4-inch thick mattress, or pad, sorry, it takes a few minutes, 3 to 4 minutes to blow this up without having something like a little pump. Other than that, I hope you got some good info out of the video. If you did, give it a like. If you have any questions about any other sleeping pads or any other pieces of gear that I use, you can drop them in the comments below. If you've had an experience with the Trekology ultralight pads, drop that in the comments below. I'd be interested to see if other folks are having good luck with these as well. So I'll talk to you soon. If you haven't hit that like and subscribe button, please go ahead and do that. It supports the channel greatly, and I will see you in the next one.